Your home for Penguins hockey here on the Exit 105.9, live from Penguins training camp. It's Abby along with Travis and with Phil Borque, who has stopped by the Old T9er, sponsored by Hockey is also babysitting, because we've got Ellis here as well, which is phenomenal.
You never know. Live radio, baby.
Yes. So, Phil, days like this have to kind of always feel inherently special for you, being that this is a process that you've gone through so many times. Right. Talk to me a little bit about the vibe of the day when these training camps get started.
Oh, first of all, when this time rolls around, I thank God that I don't have to get myself in shape to get ready. Because seriously, I mean, this time of year, I remember like right around the U.S. Open, I would start to get the butterflies and the anxiety and all that. And so every time the U.S. Open rolls around, I get on my couch, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I don't have to work out. Oh, wait a minute, I don't have to be in shape. So there's that great feeling around this time of year, but also it's in the air. Right? Yeah. You kind of get that smell in the air. You know football has started, and you know hockey's right around the corner, and it's a specialness. Baseball's still going on, so we kind of get all the seasons, so the sports seasons mixed together. This is a great time of year, not only in Pittsburgh, but in all of sports.
You mentioned, Borque, the guys, getting in shape again, and, you always dreaded that day. I feel like in this day and age, there is so much more to these organizations. Like these guys, it's day one of camp. These guys all looking like nobody looks like they're just getting back on the ice. No. These guys have been, you see the videos on social media, so I feel like the regiments have just changed.
Times have changed, baby. Yeah, I can remember my first training camp in Johnstown at the old War Memorial. They'd have all the bikes set up outside the rink by the dressing room, and guys would be hopping on, hopping up. And for a lot of guys, the veteran guys, they were getting on those bikes to get in shape. It's like, are you kidding me? These guys never get out of shape. You almost have to beg them to take 2 or 3 weeks off just to kind of heal the bumps and bruises, and they get right back into it. So, yeah, it's different than the higher-end guys. They hire dietitians, personal chefs, personal trainers. The list goes on, that it's become a business being a hockey player now.
So you don't have a personal chef. You didn't have one back then. You don't have one now?
Yeah, I know that's shocking, Travis. I know it's shocking. I know, because, the body is still a temple. I still treat it like a temple, but I just don't have that personal chef to cook me my gourmet meals.
Fair.
Phil, I think you look so good. I don't even believe it. But I will ask you, 17 years now with Malkin, Crosby, and Letang, which is insane.
It's insane.
For that kind of core to stick together. Now, of course, a part of the offseason was an expectation that there could be a pretty big shakeup, even leaving the ice last year. The players not even sure if they were going to be together again. Now that we know that is the fate of this upcoming season, what do you think between those players, the marching orders are? Where do you think their heads are right now, knowing that they've got really a legacy that they've created here?
Yeah, I think words are cheap right now, to be quite frank with you. Talk is cheap. We want action, right?
Sure.
And so it's great. I didn't think it was going to happen. I'll be quite frank with you. I don't think any of us thought it was going to happen. All 3 brought back? No way. How are we going to fit that in? But they did. They made it happen. So with that being said, I think it needs to be more of a two-way street. You know me. I don't sugarcoat it, you guys. Mm-hmm. It needs we've lost 4 straight years in the first round. Are you flipping kidding me? With this talent? No way. And I understand there's injuries. I understand circumstances, but enough is enough. Let's start getting back to winning hockey. We're the Pittsburgh flipping Penguins, man. We're going to start winning some playoff games. And I think this group, they feel like, wow, I can't believe we're back together again. So I think they feel it too. They feel a responsibility to get this thing over the finish line. And whatever that finish line is it the conference final? I think that's going to be first and foremost. And then if you can get through the conference and get to that Stanley Cup final, anything can happen.
What do you say to the people? We start with the conversation with Crosby, Malkin, Letang, those 3 sticking together. But as you expand and look at the rest of the roster, there's not too many big changes, and people have been highly critical of that. What do you say to the people that are critical of the big 3 staying together and then mostly the same group? Do you chalk it up to, like you said, circumstance, or are they going to run it back and think that it was just a one-time thing, or what?
No, I think I say to them, I say believe in the group, believe in Sidney Crosby, because more than anybody else, he wanted it to happen, right? He wanted to keep the band together, so you have to believe in them. I mean, if you're not a fair weather fan, then you believe that these guys can stay together and they can make it happen.
I got one more Sid question before we get off to the rest. And there's a lot of players to discuss here. I was reading something the other day about, Sidney Crosby's getting older. He's in the later part of his career, and a lot of people are thinking, he'll be a different type of player. He'll change the way he is. And then I saw a couple quotes from some people that know him, and they said he doesn't feel that at all. He still feels like he is just as good as the Connor McDavids and the Austin in his mind, he's not the older guy that's passing any torch. Right. He's still the guy, and he believes that, doesn't he?
He does. I saw something interesting this morning, that there hasn't been a player since Joe Sakic in 2006, 2007 to have 100 points as a 35-year or older player.
It's been that long.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's, Sid doesn't. He's not a numbers guy anymore. I mean, he has nothing to prove except to win again. So as far as the goals, the assists, he understands that he's counted on to produce offensively. But I don't think it's fair to him or to really anybody on this team when you're talking about elite players. I mean, do we want Jake Gensel to score 40? Yeah. Do we want Brian Russ to score 30?
Sure we do.
Do we want Evgeny Malkin to have 80 to 100 points? Yes. But at the end of the day, it's about the W's, right? And so I think this is a well-balanced lineup that everybody needs to chip in.
Wonderful. Phil, thank you for stopping by and chatting with us. I have to cut us off there because Ellis said so.
Yeah,
but it's September 25th is our first exhibition game that we'll have on the X, which is there's no Steelers football, right? So it's like a 1 o'clock hockey game, which we feel pretty good about. And there's also no reason that Ians can't join us right now for training camp. So it's open to the public here at the Lemieux Sports Complex. I want to say you probably want to get here before 1 o'clock because there's going to be some other hockey going on as well that we'll get out of the way for. But I would say before 1 o'clock, if you've got any time to come down here and check out a scrimmage game from the Pittsburgh Penguins, you got to get down here.
Yeah, it's a special atmosphere. If you can't come down, watch it. Travis, Abby, I enjoyed our time together like always. This was good hockey talk.
Yeah, the old Uniter. Phil Borque here on the X at 105.9 live from Penguins training camp.